Hello, good morning. All right, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Oops, let's get that right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome, welcome. All right, so vision board and desire. In the last video I did, we spoke about having a vision board and how having your desires are important because then you are less prone to going by just how things happen. You're not just in a state of reacting and then things are not just happening to your life, but you're actually striving for something. Okay, so why do you need a vision board? If you're going to have a goal and if you're going to want and create something for yourself, that means you have to have a direction that you're going into. That means you have to have some kind of desire for yourself. The difference between people who do something with their lives, that create lives for themselves or lifestyles for themselves that are comfortable, is because they had the desire in their heart. That's number one. Two, they saw themselves either with a vision board or with goals on how they would like to live day by day, what state they want to be in, their mind frame, knowing that this is the standard. And how that works is this. Story time. So let's say you have person A. Person A meets up with friends that they haven't seen in a long time. And they have a reputation of being the bag with the friends. They go and have a meal, they have a nice lunch, they enjoy, and they go their separate ways. Person B meets up with their friends that they haven't met in a long time. And they had their reputation either of having the bag or not, doesn't matter. But they say, well, I've got this place to go to. We should set up something and then we could meet up. They go their separate ways. That is person B. Let me say the whole story for person A just to give perspective to this. If you're always available for everything that's happening around you, and let's say every day you wake up with $10, and that $10, something comes up, you stop, you manage that. The next day, something comes up, you manage that. You will find, if you actually look at it, if you had 20 days of those $10, how much is that going to be? It's going to be like $200, right? You see $200, the next day you still have issues to have, and there's no money. When you look at person B, who has a vision and a goal, let's say their vision for that 20 days, let's say to have their teeth clean, let's say to get their hair done, let's say to get something for their child, let's say to invest their money in a business, like they're putting their money away to start a small business. One person will not be so liked because they're not that giving, they're not that available, they're called selfish, they're always looking at their own stuff. And the other person will be deemed as good and nice, the nice person that everybody likes. They give a good time. It's what society approves of. When you calculate and put those moves together in a span of 5 years, one person will be more stable, one person will have less anxiety, one person will have the same person will have a more stable lifestyle. You could actually see fruits of their labor. The other one, even if they had the same amounts, they have problems and they're in the deficit, but they're deemed as a good person, as a nice person, because they were available for everyone, but they were never available for themselves. That's the difference to start with. So when you have a vision board and you have some sort of desire, even if socially it's not that appealing, wait one moment, let's see. Even if socially it doesn't seem that appealing, what is happening is one person, their children, will have some fruits of their labor. The other one will always be running on the treadmill. Now, whatever we don't attend to for ourselves, where it's going to be a burden for another person. Whatever we attend to for ourselves, are going to be fruits for the people who come nearby. So every time you're experiencing something, like I do remember there's this time I went in Zambia and I went to visit my sister's friend, and her home made me feel very comfortable. Like I enjoyed the energy, I enjoyed the ambience. I enjoyed that because she put her desires first on what she desired. I was benefiting and having a feel of what it would be like if I had my own place in Zambia. The ambience, just the freeness of having your own place and, not being told by other people what to do, what to think, how to see it, when to get it, all that stuff. It just made me feel, and I thought about how I want to have a place. I do see having myself where there's the ground, there's the floor where I can walk around, I can ground myself. I could see myself on a porch, sipping a cup of tea, enjoying, and those are luxuries of life. I could see myself in that picture only because someone took it upon themselves to create what they wanted for themselves. So inspiration usually comes to look at people who've done something for themselves. We are never inspired for those who do for others. Just think about it. If you look at, we'll say they're nice, we'll put them on a pedestal. But if we look at their families, we look at their children, they're nice, but they always need something because they're always in lack, because they've never attended to themselves before. Emotionally, there'll be a lack if someone doesn't invest in self. Awareness, someone is going to be in lack if you're always attending to other people's stories and lives. When it comes financially, if you're always helping, always, and you're not stable yourself, that's a poverty consciousness and mindset. It's going to evolve to your next generation and the next generation. The moment someone puts their foot down, it's unpleasant and other people will complain. Oh, it's always them, me, myself. I don't feel what I want. But in society, that person is going to be looked up to because they did what others could not do, as uncomfortable as it may be, and as much as it goes against the grain. If you look at anyone who's done anything significant, it could be even how well they take care of themselves. It could be how nicely they're dressed. It could be makeup. It could be the buildings that they've created, the businesses that they have. They made sacrifices, and sacrifices were doing things that are not needs to that vision, and not part of the vision. They take away from the vision. They take away from the goals. They take away from a person being 3 steps. Just imagine if you're walking, let's say you're walking a mile, and every 2 steps you stop because you're being nice. You have to greet everyone, stop. They invite you to their home, you turn, and one person is just going directly where they're going. Who's going to reach their destination with more energy? Who's going to reach their destination with more direction, with more of themselves in that? The one who just walks to their destination. So when you are creating a vision board, for starters, don't think about your limitations. Don't think about your mom. Don't think about your children. Don't think about your husband. Just have a vision of what you would like to have. Because the moment you start thinking of these people, everybody is a gift, but they are barriers again. When you have a thought, when you have a vision, when you have a desire, it's placed in your mind, in your heart by the Creator. And it's not placed in everyone's mind. So it's up to you. It's up to you to nurture that soil. It's like when you have plants in your home. If you don't water them, they'll wither. Just because you have neighbors, they've got their own stuff as well, in their minds of their expectations. So you have to attend to your vision, your goals, and then those are going to be fruits that everybody enjoys. Those are going to be fruits that everybody benefits from when they're in your environment. But if you don't take care of that and you're coming from lack, you will see that maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're agitated. So always take time to do steps that take you in your direction. If you want to be light in energy, if you want to be a person who laughter comes easy and not always, worrying and stuff like that, you have to create that environment for yourself. Meaning that you're not available to drama, you're not available to everybody's sob story. Your priorities are, how do you feel? How can you nurture yourself? Did you create the time and space for you to stay hydrated, drink your water? Did you take time to put something as simple as these roses, something that brings out the feminine in you, the nature in you? Did you take time to pray? Did you take time to meditate? Did you take time to journal? Did you take time to actually ask yourself, how do I feel today? Did you take time to make that decision to say, wherever I go, I will bring joy and happiness. Wherever I am, happiness and joy is with me. Consciously choose happiness. Consciously choose to take the right foot in front of the other one. And the way you treat yourself is exactly how eventually people will treat you. Anything that you neglect, other people will neglect. Anything that you pay attention to, other people will pay attention to. So if you like my hair, if it looks shiny, if it looks brushed, and if it makes you feel good and smile, or makes you want to give me a nice comment, it's because I paid attention to it. If I didn't pay attention to it and you look at it and it doesn't make sense, it doesn't cultivate a smile, it's going to be a critique. It brings up a different energy in you. So my experiences of the outer world will be exactly as much as I've done to myself. Have you ever noticed when you're nicely dressed and you're looking good, you even walk differently. You're smiling and you're catching eyes. If someone comes at the door, you can even open the door, say hi, speak to them. But the times that we're not properly dressed or we haven't paid any attention, you really don't want to go to any good places. You say, no, I'm not dressed well. So your experiences of life are directly correlated with how you look, how you feel. If you notice when you're in a good mood, people are coming towards you. When you're in a bad mood, it's like, well, not today. She's in a nest. Like people are taking cover. So the way we are eventually is what people experience. So who do we want to be? When you have that awareness, or you've chosen to be happy, you've chosen to have an experience of life that is light, that is of love, that is, of joy, that is of like, appreciation. You have to start that with yourself. You have to start with yourself. After this video, I'm going to go ahead and on my other channel. Actually, I just had a thought right now. I wish I had a pen and a paper just to write it down. I just had a thought. People call it a download, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, start with yourself. But before you start, like, have that goal, because other people's standards are what you are around them. Your standards are what you are when you're by yourself. So if I've said my standard is, my fundamentals for me, my non-negotiable, peace, joy, happiness are fundamentals. So no matter what's happening, that's a fundamental. No matter what's happening around, that's a fundamental where I will put myself. I don't need anyone's permission. I don't need anyone's like, can I do this? No, I'll do whatever it takes to bring myself to that state again. My basic joy, love, vibrancy, lightness, life. So when I'm around different environments, let's say I'll go to different places. When I'm in the gym, you're running, maybe the smile will go. When at a funeral, I'm gonna maybe embody or be in appropriate to the place. You won't be at a funeral and just be giggling and laughing. That doesn't make sense. You have to be appropriate. But whenever you get back to your space, you have to try and get yourself back to that state of joy, peace within yourself. And you can set your house in a place. You can put things around you that bring you to that remind you, that you are alive. Some people didn't wake up today and you're alive. So your standards are things that you always come to no matter what experiences you have there. If you find someone who's maybe very lively, you'll be lively around them. If you find someone sad, you'll be sad, but always come to your own. You always. So no matter what you get out there, get inspiration, but create everything for yourself. That way, at the end, you're going to choose the catalysts that embody or that bring out that in you as well, externally. You can be around, sad places, stuff like that, but the amount you spend is less, and you spend more time on things that amplify you or that nurture your path that you're going into. So even if you're going to make U-turns and stops, it's things that add onto who you are, like elevate you and stuff like that. Be intentional. Now let's get back again to the vision board. That was on the self. Getting back to the vision board. If you're going to see it on a social level, like let's say money and wealth. If you don't have, if you have, for example, think about goals that don't even, you can never reach. If you shoot for the stars and you fall, at least you fall on the clouds. It's not going to be on the bottom. So let's say you want a private jet. It's just an example, a private jet. You want an amazing house. There's this big mansion, big ideas you have out there. When you have little money, small amounts, I won't say little, small amounts, you'll be putting them towards that. But if you don't have that goal, if you don't have that vision, every day you'll be spending on things as they come, and you'll find yourself never climbing. So even when you're around information, if you have that desire in your heart and you have no way how to attain it, that's the way it should be, by the way. A vision board you don't think about the house. It shouldn't be on, because I know what I can do. Don't limit yourself. You don't know who you'll be tomorrow. You don't know what you're capable of. Just have a vision, have it as big as possible. When you hear people giving the house of a vision that you had, you're going to pay attention, because it's already in your psyche. You said, I desire this. So whenever you're in rooms or places where people are sharing such information, you'll be more keen to listen because it's already part of a thing you are willing and desiring to have. But no matter what someone places in front of you, if it has never been your desire, it's never been on your vision or your thing, you can enjoy it, but your brain won't hold it because it's not important to your brain. Every day you experience so many things. If you think about your life, you've got small memories. You won't remember each moment of your life, but there are key events, key places that make you think about something. So always have a vision, create a vision for yourself, and things change. The vision you would have had, the best vision at 18 is going to be different at 20. It's going to be different at 30. You are always changing. We're always evolving. The things you would have wanted as a teenager are going to be different as a mom. When your kids are grown and they're going to school and you have free time, if what you wanted was, for example, let's say you wanted a rocking chair. If you have a teenager, what's a rocking chair to you? If your desire, biggest desire, for example, was to have, those small toddler beds, it's just an example. The ones which are like cars or bunk beds, the cool ones that sometimes have a table, the cute little princessy ones, and you have a 30-year-old daughter, does that vision still have stand? No. So you're always evolving. That's why it's always important as well to be around people who have more than you, people who think more than you, people who've steps ahead of something, because it helps replace those things and possibilities and limitations that maybe you may have in your own environment. If you're not a child of the Obamas or the Trump or the Kennedys, you're not exposed to all the wealth and wonders and all that stuff, or you're not a child of a spiritual leader, a Sadhguru, Jesus, or, like you don't have those, like you have to be open, put yourself in environments, even if it doesn't make sense, just put yourself there. So for you to put yourself in a place, it's either accidental by another person who said that for themselves, or you can just go and create a vision board, like something I said to myself. It might be helpful to you. This is what I said to myself. I'm looking at how many minutes I've been. I can't tell right now. Is show me how things can be better. God, I surrender. Show me how things can get better. This is not it. Things can get better. Just an open, like I seriously didn't have an answer. Now, when I hear someone talking about things that are beyond me or that I can't conceive, I'll listen because I've asked. I'm able to see things I couldn't see before because my mind is now opening. My mind is not defending my limitations. My psyche and my every cell of my body is not fighting the unknown. It's like, what is out there? But at the same time, being able to appreciate where I am right now, being grateful for the air I breathe, being grateful for even having a roof over my head, being grateful that I can have water. Some people are in a desert where, water is expensive. Someone might be in transit where they don't have the capability of having a bottle of water. Maybe where they are right now, they are so thirsty, and maybe the bottle of water is $6 and they don't have anything in them, that's a way to start. I'm not there right now, but the way over there, but that's a way to start. It's a fundamental. So being grateful for the small things, that way when you experience everything, you're in awe, like, oh, thank you. So you're not acting, you're actually really just appreciative of everything that's happening. It doesn't mean you don't feel bad. It doesn't mean at times you don't, even if it's business and money, you don't make bad deals, but you're oriented to a goal. Look at a man who had a vision, private jet, big companies, he had a figure. It's just an example. Let's say he had a figure of $5 billion, and look at someone who didn't. Even if you create a lot of money, it's going to go to different women, it's going to go to different stuff, trying to catch the next big thing. So you're always drawn in all directions. But when you have a vision, even some conversations don't make sense. They don't. Are you focused on the minors of life or the majors of life? Majors are things that make you better spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. You're evolving. The better you become for yourself, the better you become for your partner, for your children, for your society. When you don't invest in that thing, then we are liabilities. What is that? Mental space is not okay. Emotional space is not okay. We're drawn in different directions. Every time there's something for someone that is happening and we're always there, but we've never taken that time. But also have grace on self. Know that if you look at school, it will teach you about science, geography. They will teach you about the universe, the planets, never about yourself. After school, you're going to go to college. They'll teach you about jobs, more subjects, history, psychology, whatever, of others. Only when you start looking at self and applying it. But everything is outwards. A job, it's about an outcome for the company, whatever. Maybe there is a salary and you're working so everything you're doing is to better yourself, but it's projected by others. So why don't you take that time, create the vision board for yourself, create goals for yourself? Why don't you just, something that's not given to you by an institution, something that if you go to church, you're praying to go to heaven or not trying to go to whatever you're doing, you made sins and you're trying to be forgiven, whatever it may be. Why don't you look at people who do exactly what you do? Are they peaceful? Are they graceful? Are they happy? Are they prosperous? If it hasn't worked for them, just start creating your list. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel love? Oh, I want to feel love. How do you create that? Oh, I want this. Even if you don't know the how, just create desires. The moment you create desires, your brain is going to start looking for ways to fulfill that. But if there is no desire, every time you see, if you're a man, you see a woman, you're captivated by it. If you're a woman, if someone just flashes some money, you're there, you're going, because you haven't defined what you want. If you look at anyone who has something, they defined it for themselves, or they desired it. Even if they didn't define it, they desired it. And they invested time. If they're on YouTube, they're not just on TikTok scrolling or just looking around. They're intentional in where they take their time. So create a vision board. If you've got a vision board, let's say you want to get married, start learning more about marriage. You have to have the marriage mindset before the marriage. What does it take? What does it take to have a loving marriage? Who do you have to become? If you're going to be a parent, what does it become to be a conscious parent? Who do you have to become? I'm always working on myself. If you see me, sometimes I'm a hot mess. Well, not sometimes, it could be many times. But just having that awareness to say, I've got this thing I'm striving for. How do I get better? How do I be better? When I'm around someone and they're looking for the same, it's going to be inspiring. But whenever you set standards for yourself, always know that people are going to fall off. It's going to make them very, very uncomfortable whenever you set standards for yourself. And that's just the way of life. Elevation requires detachment. It requires distance. A plane, to move from one point to another, there is distance. If you're going to school to learn whatever you're going to learn, you don't usually do it in your home. And if you're in a home, you're not listening to your parents. You're learning from a book. You're learning from a teacher. And even if the parent is teaching you, they're not teaching you about their past, where they came from. They're teaching you material according to what you need. There is a distance between what you always do to what you're getting. So what are you doing daily to have those things in front of you? We have to know that everything we know comes from the people around us. And if we don't have those structures, we have to strive. We always have to strive. It's just like drinking water. You don't say, I've drunk water the first 10 years of my life, I'm done with water, no more water. No, you don't do that. When you're thirsty, until your last breath or your last day, you'll be drinking water. You'll be eating. You'll be applying lotion. The same with the mind. Just because school finishes doesn't mean you're done. Look within. Ask yourself those questions. Sometimes it might be frustrating. Sometimes it might be painful. Those are not feelings. That's not who you are. Push through them when creating your stuff, your desires. Just put desires, as weird as they may be. Even if you have no idea how to have them, even if you don't foresee it, just put it there. So I will share more when we have like events where you actually do create that. And I usually put people in a headspace to just dream. And for me, I never thought of a private jet before. Maybe I did. Did I? Now I'm thinking and talking at the same time. I had to be around someone who had it and who thought about it. So if you don't know, never feel bad. Never feel bad by what you don't know. Always know that we always heard something from somewhere or someone. We're a product of the environment. That's why it's very important to place yourself around people out of your norm, out of your comfort zone. That's why they say to grow, we have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I had to be around the Cardones who are always, they have their place, but they had to think it before they thought it. They were in someone's orbit who said it, who brought it to their attention. It might have been just seeing someone else having hair done like this. I might have seen it somewhere, inspiration. So no one's mind or thought is like original. No, it's just me. We are all inspired. And the moment you get inspired, inspire others. That's it. So what's your ideal lifestyle? How do you feel in your lifestyle? In your life? I know I feel appreciated. I appreciate myself. I feel valued. I value myself. I see smiles around. I smile at myself. I laugh at myself. So other people, are just a catalyst of already what I've cultivated. So how do you give yourself everything you desire with the intent that you're going to share your gifts with the world? All right. Well, thank you. Today has been an amazing. I was just freestyling today. I'm going to be heading out. Have an amazing Thursday. So dream big. Dream big. What are your goals? What are your thoughts? What are your desires? Don't think about the how. Just have a vision. Just have a vision. That's it. Trust me, it's going to clear a lot for yourself. Let me wrap it around in a ball because I know sometimes I'm like, so I think in terms of ones and zero, there is no decision. It's ones and zero. If it doesn't align with what I'm doing, it's a zero. I don't like, so like information that doesn't apply, it's a zero. But subconsciously, I know it's recording. So sometimes I go back to conversations just to see, just to remember. I go back to conversations. But have ones and zeros. Does it get me closer to my goal? Does this elevate me? Does this teach me? Does this inspire me? Does this even make me happy? Does it inspire me? Does it make me laugh? And if it makes you laugh, is it from a bad habit or is it something that gets you closer to your vision? Know what you're available for. When you're in a place, maybe there is a little gossip, you can be there because we're human beings, but how long are you there for? Less time with things that get you where you're going, more time to steps that get you not where you're going, to who you're becoming, who you're being. All right. Have an amazing Thursday and like, share, please subscribe to the channel so I bring on more content for you. And I look forward to having more viewers and having more of an interactive thing where you can put your comments, your questions. That way I can respond. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and go ahead and like. Thank you and bye. Have a great day. Okay, how do we stop that? There we go. Okay, now I'm looking for the one that's gonna be on the cover. All right, thank you. Have a great day. Bye. Oh wait, I didn't stop it. I have to stop recording first. There we go. And then end for all. Bye.